Hello and welcome to 4,000 and Counting, brought to you by Hurricane Ebikes. I am Whitey, and today I'm joined by the young team, Mr. Gary Kelly from Aberdeen Lynx and Whitley Warriors. Mate, you might be clocking in as one of our youngest ever guests, I reckon.
Yeah, it's an honor anyway. Watched the show for a while, so yeah, be good.
Glad to have you on board, mate. Obviously, I'm coming up to the game at the weekend. I've had a couple of I had the old team on yesterday. I had Fraser on, so from one end of the spectrum to the other. Although your younger years, that didn't stop you announcing your mark last year. 26 goals, good enough to be seventh top scorer in the SNL as a 16/17-year-old. How important was it to take that step away from Dundee, get to Aberdeen, and really get to focus on playing some senior minutes?
Well, for me, I was playing with the Dundee Tigers, so kind of the back end of COVID, I was still playing juniors at Dundee Stars Juniors. And I kind of just wasn't really enjoying it, to be honest. So I was like, my other pal Leo Page, who still plays for them, he was like, right, I want to go and try it. So you up for it? And I was like, new challenges. So yeah, let's go for it. I couldn't actually play a game until about mid-season because how my birthday falls. I was still 15 when I actually started training with them. So maybe end of January, start of February is when I played my first SNL game. And to be honest, I just wasn't getting played a lot. Heard some things from the coach about me I probably shouldn't have heard, but that just kind of spiked the motivation for me to go on and try and do bigger and better things.
Gary, one sec. Right. I don't know if this is going to make it any better or not, but I can imagine, is your phone that way?
Oh, you want me to turn it this way?
Yeah, because I think what's happening.
Oh, sorry.
I think what's happening and it's because that's on the bottom, the speaker's on the bottom. It was like muffling your sound a little bit.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Fine.
Yeah, we're all good. We're all good. We got see, it's a young team and they're messing up the technology. What's as if the young team's messing up the technology? I thought you boys would be all over that. This is right in your wheelhouse. But yeah, obviously, being that age, it looks like the SIHA are going to implement a rule where 15-year-olds can play. How important do you think that is for development? Because like yourself, you could have started playing 6-7 months earlier and got a full season under your belt.
That's like Conor McNulty, these are guys that I've played with in Scotland teams who are kind of in the same boat as me. We're all ready to take that next step, but age restrictions weren't allowing it. And I think now that we've got the 15 rule, I think that's really good because you're going to have all these younger guys who could even do better jobs than myself in a couple of years' time, even when they hit 17 if they've been playing since they're 15. You know what I mean? So I think it's really good that we've got Connor Nelson. He's still under 16, so he's 15 years old. He's looking to step up. Logan Gordon also. He's also pretty good. These guys are coming through Aberdeen's system. So, yeah, I think it's a great thing.
It's a really, really positive thing. It's something that I'm going to look down the camera as I say this. Sorry, I'm not looking at you. EIHA, take note, follow suit. You will not regret it. It will be the best decision you make. There is a reason that we are not producing enough talent in comparison to maybe, I don't want to hate to say back in my day, but back in my day, I was training up the Bison from 13, 14. My kid brother the same. I think my brother played his first Elite League game at 14. Like Joe Greener, he was out at 14, 15 in the BNL. Kurt Reynolds the same, and that's just using Basingstoke. Down the road, Mark Richardson playing for the Ice Lords. He's now gone on to play 15 years straight in the Elite League. Stevie Lee, Kev Phillips, Dave Phillips, all at Hull, all started at 14. They all went on to have 10, 15-year Elite League careers, GB teams. There is a reason for it. Trust the process. Get the kids on the ice. Get the kids on the ice. I hope there's some communication happening between the Scottish Ice Hockey Association and the English Ice Hockey Association, because these moves are positive steps. And obviously, it's a little bit late for you now, but you touched on a couple of kids there that, they're ready to go, especially for that SNL. You're not asking them to step up to the National League or the Elite League. It's amateur. They can step up and play a role.
Yeah, I agree. The SNL, it's now I've played a couple of games of the NIHL 1, you can kind of see the difference that people talk about, and I still think that these guys, despite being 15, can come in the SNL, and I think there's probably guys down south that could probably take steps into the NIHL 1 North, South. I've seen the guy Connor Lee, he's at Manchester and Telford, he seems to be a great player. So,
well, he scored on his Telford debut, right?
Yeah, yes, I actually have seen that, yeah, so it's just reasons on why it should happen is in the present. You know what I mean?
Well, let's say for argument's sake, I don't know Connor's birthday.
Yeah.
But let's say for argument's sake, he's just turned 16.
Yeah.
So you're telling me like last week if he was like 15 and then this week he was 16. I know it's not it's not quite right. His age is a wee bit different. Before you start fucking at me on Twitter, piss off. Like, but using that as an example, so you're saying what last week he wasn't fucking good enough and now he's just turned 16. He's good enough. He was the same player last week. He probably was the same player 2 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. He's getting better, but guess what? You put him in at the deep end with better players. He's only going to improve, and the same for yourself. Obviously, I think you stepping down to Whitley Bay and doing the 2-way this year, I think that's a smart decision on your part because obviously you're going to get to play against some different players. You're going to get different eyeballs looking at you. And you're going to put yourself right in the shop window for perhaps a National League team in the next couple of seasons here.
Yeah. It was actually kind of funny how it came about with Whitley. I think it was just one day my dad added Willie down on Facebook, just like trying to widen his hockey friends on Facebook. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, we ended up texting just saying about how it was a good year, and if I ever wanted to think about a 2-way himself, then the option could be there. Right. So kind of the summer, kind of nothing really heard because I was on holiday and stuff. But then just after that, Willie asked me to come and train pre-season. So I went and done my pre-season there. Tony was just saying, look, we've got a deep squad right now at this second, but I want to keep you, like, if you can train with us and that, to keep you in the mix. So I was like, yeah, okay, I can send that. And I trained the week before last week, and he called me, well, Tony didn't call me, Willie called my dad the next day and saying he's playing on Sunday against Billings.
Let's go.
So it was kind of happened. It was a bit rush getting the 2-way agreed in that like before the cut off, so I could play that weekend. Yeah, but we got it done. So yeah, it was good.
I love it. Tony's giving you the fucking mind games. You're 17. Tony's like, yeah, well, you know, there might be a wee spot there. Yeah, fucking, we'll see what we can do. He's going, I like this kid. I'm going to sign him, but I'm going to make him sweat his ass off for a few minutes.
Yeah, he makes you work hard. He makes you work hard.
Oh, that's the one thing. At that level, Tony will bring in a level of professionalism. He will teach guys stuff that they've never even heard of. They've never seen done. The way he sees the game, obviously, I was fortunate enough to play against him for many years. Yeah. Really fortunate to have him on here. If you haven't listened already, guys, go listen to a Tony Hand episode. He talks like, and you just dial it in. Like, he's a legend, and he's the closest thing to Wayne Gretzky we've ever seen on these shores. How is it for you as a young Scot? I mean, I don't imagine your wildest dreams you ever thought you'd be lacing them up with Tony Hand as your coach.
No. Well, many years ago, he done a camp in Dundee, and obviously it's all like the Dundee junior boys were there, 5 guys, and it's just like at the time it's like, oh, Tony's like the draft pick NHL, he's there with Gretzky, and everyone's just like, no, you're that young, looking up to him, and it's like, then fast forward a few years, you know, his team, like, reality hits fast, but it's the reality of playing the sport, getting through the levels in the UK, as you say, you're going to come across some good coaches and some coaches you might not like, but I'm pretty happy to have landed with Tony.
Yeah, a few of them, bud. Yeah, you got that. You got the coaches you don't like to come yet. That's always fun. Fucking hell. Playing for coach. I mean, I've played for some horrific coaches. I've also been super lucky to play for some fantastic coaches, and they're the ones you remember. Don't get me wrong. When you're shooting shit, doing podcasts with the boys, and you're having a laugh, yeah, you might rattle off the shit times with the bad coaches, but it's the good times with the great coaches that leave a legacy on your career. And you're lucky enough you're going to get to play for Tony. He's gonna instill stuff in you that perhaps you won't get at the SNL just because, well, it's Tony. Like the levels, he's obviously been an elite league coach. He's been a national team coach. He's been a national, EPL, so NIHL national for what it is now. He's been there, BNL with the Dundee Stars. Like, he's been everywhere. He's done it. It's something that you're probably not going to get in the SNL in terms of experience. But the fact that guys like yourself can go on 2-ways, I think Karu's down on a 2-way.
Yeah, he's a winless.
Yeah,
there's some guys with winless in his character. He's really good. I give him his credit. He's a good player. Connor also, McNulty, and then Colin Anderson. They were all playing at the weekend when I played against them for Whitley, and they were all the guys, my Scotland team, all guys like me, all making an impact in them games. You know what I mean? So it's good to see, especially with them being your friends as well. you're all kind of growing together when you're all kind of started out in the under 11s of Scotland. You know what I mean? So it is good to see.
It's really good, mate. It's fantastic to see young guys making their mark on senior hockey. I think I think it's going to take a little bit longer. We need to still keep bleeding them through, but I think eventually that pathway will be there. I like the fact that it seems like some of the SNL teams are teaming up with the NHL One North, and as I said previously, it does put you in the shop window. I want you boys to know that the coaches, obviously, I'm friends with a lot of the coaches in the National League and stuff. They're fucking paying attention. Obviously, they're not getting to games because they're coaching and stuff. They're paying attention to what's going on. They're talking to coaches down there. They know who's coming up. They know what prospects are coming up. So if you boys go do these things, you do well in the SNL, you do well in the NHL One North, there's no reason why you guys won't progress on. Obviously, with you being a Scottish kid and there being owned, well, now Solway, that's an option for you that was never there before. But when it comes to stepping up through the gears, is the Elite League the ultimate goal, or do you want to go and cut your teeth at National eventually? How do you want to play it out?
It's kind of weird because I got an apprenticeship here in Dundee, so that's kind of 4 years. You're kind of not stuck in Scotland, but you know the travelling's what I'm doing now is maybe the most I could do for a while. But like Johnny McBean, he's one of my really good pals, and look at him at the Stars just now. Like he's kind of the one out of all of us that's kind of shown like he's the brightest out of all of us. So
is he getting ice time though?
So I think
I tell you what, the Elite League are balls deep on the stats nowadays. Let's have a look on the Elite League website. Sorry if we're going to sue him and he's getting 1 minute 57. We didn't know beforehand, but there was a little argument going on Twitter this week, and they were talking about Jordan Bresser, and one of the Clan fans goes, because Jamie McElroy used to be the host on here.
Yeah,
he put a tweet out. And he's basically, his ice time's pish. And the guy's like, nah, he's been playing loads of shifts and he's doing this and he's getting some good minutes. And Mac went on to the stats, and his average time in the games he's played so far was 5 minutes in the Elite League and 3.5 minutes in the Challenge Cup. What are you going to do in that? You're hardly going to announce yourself on the scene and be like, here I am. Like, can't even get into the game, man.
I seen he was doing well with the Steel Dogs last year too.
Mate, he was legit with the Steel Dogs. Honestly, very, very good. He's big, strong, powerful boy. And he was getting reps. He was playing 27 minutes a night, 25 minutes a night, 24 minutes a night. Like, as opposed to what you're supposed to do in 3.5 minutes.
I know. It's hard to develop. That's, again, like, that's kind of why I left the Tigers in the first place with Aberdeen, because I knew, well, that's like, when I went, I was to be on the third line. But at least I knew then I was going to be playing more than 3 shifts a game, you know what I mean? So it's kind of, that was more my thinking, and development's always kind of in your thoughts when you're thinking about moving places or taking on a 2-way offer and playing in these different leagues and against all these different players.
Here we go. So, time on ice. Where is he? Well, to be fair, he scored a goal in one of the games, so he must be getting on.
Manchester.
So not bad actually. He's playing 10 minutes a night. On average. That's in the Elite League. Let's have a look at the Challenge Cup, because they might have played a few more Challenge Cup games. Now, in the Challenge Cup, where is he? I must have scrolled straight by him. There he is. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. His ice time in the Challenge Cup so far, 5 minutes 23.
Yeah.
Now, if he was playing in the National League in Solway, where he was last year right now, the way they're struggling for goals and shit, he'd be playing 27 minutes a night. So this is what I'm talking about. It's hard to weigh up where you go and what step you take.
Yeah, and that's like, even like a friend Braden at Leeds. I'm pretty good friends with him as well, and it's kind of, again, good to see your friends doing these things. But I think with us kind of being Scottish, we're kind of out of the picture because we're kind of away up here, and
especially you boys in Aberdeen, you couldn't be any further away. Couldn't be any further away.
Yeah, I know. We're way up north.
But yeah, Finn Braden's a fine example. Honestly, mate, I'm excited about this kid. There's not been many kids that have come through in the last couple of years where I've gone, But yeah, he's a bit of me. I like him. He plays the game the right way. There's another kid up in Hull. He must be ages with you. That Owen Britton.
Owen's a good guy. I like Owen. Yeah, he's a good player as well.
He's got something about him as well. He plays the game right. He goes to the gritty areas. I like that. Those boys are just two examples. The fact that we can show that 17-year-olds could even do it in the National League, let alone the NIHL 1. So obviously you touched on, you got your apprenticeship there. Is that something that you would have to finish up the road, or is there potential if the right offer came in to maybe finish the apprenticeship down south somewhere?
Yeah, that's kind of the only realistic option. I've thought about it before, like when we spoke to my dad in the summer about potential options. I knew I was getting a job, so I was kind of just thinking the only way I could really go down south is if I could, like, so I'm in my first year now, so I'd do my first year, and then if I started my second year down south, say, but I don't know how realistic that is, and I won't know unless that time comes, but that's probably the only realistic way that I could do it, because I still want to make my living in the trade, you know what I mean? So
what is going to be your trade?
Definitely.
What's going to be your trade?
Glazier, windows.
Yeah, okay. So, and that's the other thing. You start to realize once you look at that National League level, and they've all bringing in 1,000, 1,200, 1,500, 1,800 people, depending on where you go. Someone's always looking for a chippy. Someone's always, you know what I mean? Someone's always looking for a tradie. But the fans, the fans are so good, mate. It was like that when I played. The fans would be like, "Oh, your imports need work. Well, I need a hottie and I need this." And all of a sudden, the boys were getting work, and the fans really do play a big part of that. So I'm sure if it was something that you really seriously wanted to look at, because what teams always look for is someone that can score goals. You put 26 of them in the back of the net last year as a young lad. What would you say? What's the right way of saying it? Basically, what makes you good at scoring goals? Do you feel what's your target? Like me, I was always in front of the net. I was tough to play against. It was nitty gritty. I'd score some on a PP. I'd score some like I don't know, backhand toe drag every now and again. But mainly it was in front of the net. What about yourself?
I kind of score a lot of different goals. I can score them on the power play. When I play with Jordan Layden, he's kind of the smaller stature guy, so he's kind of down low running the offensive zone. So I kind of just come in at the slot a bit. A lot of them do come from that. There is my individual ones, they come and go. Some are pretty, some aren't, but a goal's a goal at the end of the day. But yeah, most of my goals were kind of scrapped throughout, to be honest. Yeah.
I love that. You obviously played a couple of games for Whitley now this season. You're off and running down there as well. How nice is it to get a goal early on when you're going down to Whitley Bay?
Yeah, definitely. I actually watched Fraser's podcast right before you said it, and he kind of said about the pressure. I didn't necessarily feel pressure, but you feel weight of expectation, and kind of getting that first goal, the monkey off your back, and like this second game, it's a good feeling. It's good for your confidence to know that, like, right, okay, I've done it, so I'm going to keep doing it, game in, game out. So yeah, it's kind of more a mental thing. Getting the first goal was a lot. Just give me the confidence, I belong here. I can definitely play at this standard and can definitely keep scoring goals.
Yeah, I love it. That's exactly what it is, especially early season. You get that monkey off your back straight away. You're in the mix. Puck just feels a little softer on the hands. Like you're not squeezing the stick on passes. You go 5, 6, 7 games without a goal, especially doing what you're doing, stepping from Aberdeen to Whitley. You got 26 goals last year. Like, if I'm a fan, I'm expecting you to score goals. Yeah. Like, it's that simple. Yeah, like, if I'm a fan and all that, and the thing is, a lot of fans won't know anything about you being up there.
Yeah,
they'll just look at your fucking elite prospects or hockey DB and be like, "You scored 26 goals. That's good enough for me. Let's go." They won't know what to expect from you. So, do you think in your first couple of performances, like, the fans are going to be happy, right, with the addition you've brought to the roster?
Yeah, I think I've not been perfect by any means. Definitely some things that I need to work on, still adapting a little bit. But apart from that, yeah, I'm a big hard worker. That's kind of my main thing about me. Is I work hard. I'm in the corners. That's one thing I got told is when you go down to that, we just watch get in the corners. It's just like, for me, it's just like, well, it's got to be done kind of thing.
Head on a swivel, get in there.
Yeah. So yeah, I think probably with my work rate, you'll probably still see my offensive side to come, definitely. But that'll come.
Look at the popular guy right now. What are you doing? Fucking wiping your messages off every time.
Dad texting me he's away in Budapest just now, so I'm actually in by myself. So I'm just telling him.
He's just making sure you're not having a fucking empty or what? Like, he's
I know he probably does think that. He probably does.
Tuesday night empty, all the Neds are in and just having the time of their life. But it's encouraging to hear like young guys talk with such passion about the game. What do you do? Obviously, you're doing your apprenticeship, but what are you doing away from that? Are you in the gym? What's the nutrition like?
Yeah, well, you know, I try to just eat as best I can. It's kind of work hard with work. You know, kind of just got your
You're on the go.
hand piece. You know, you're just on the go. But I try to eat as best I can. My gym kind of I actually just got I got like a so there's a guy from Dundee. He's actually a cousin's friend. He does like strength and conditioning. So I got a program from him, and I've actually just started working on that. So kind of just I always kind of do Mondays a rest day. Now I'm playing 2 games in the traveling, but then Tuesday. And they skate Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday I do something. I like going on the bike and if I just listen in the legs and then getting ready to go for the Saturday.
Blow all the lactic acid out of the legs, ready for the weekend. That's what we like to hear. The fact that you're thinking about these things already is only positive. The more these young guys that get in the gym, the better. I mean, you are playing it. You're gonna ultimately, once you're good enough, you're gonna play against men. And if you're not in the gym and you're weak, you can have all the fucking stick handles and toe drags you like. Ain't gonna make a difference when a 17-stone scaffolder hits you center ice. You're gonna know about it. Like it's different. Like it feels different.
I've heard it myself, Ness, and I've been steamrolled by a few big guys. Yeah, it's not nice. Gives you a wake-up call anyway. It's not nice.
It makes you get that head on a swivel, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
What's the vibe around Aberdeen? Like, obviously, I've had a couple of the boys on already, but the fact that they're packing the house, everyone's jerseyed up, everyone's loving it. How's that for you? Obviously, you were with Dundee before. I mean, the crowd's okay, but they're not the same as that. How does it feel being there?
I think to start off with, it was pretty surreal. Like, not even when I signed it was an interview. I've never been interviewed in my life, so I'm like on the hot seat, and you can tell I'm kind of sitting back a bit nervous. And, it was everything for me last year was new. That's why it was so special. All these guys like Fraser, and he's been through it as a player, and Jack, then there's Jordan. All these guys have been through it, but for me, it was a first for kind of everything. So especially with the fans, like it was, you score a goal and it's erupts and you're like, oh, and you know what I mean? They kind of took back by it, and it's always loud. It's sold out basically every week. The fans are all really nice people. They always stop to say hi to you, ask you for a photograph with their child or whatever. So yeah, it's good to know you make other people's day as well, just as well as them coming to watch. You know what I mean? So it feels good. It's definitely good.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I've been to a couple of SNL games, but that was probably fucking 15 years ago, man. Like when Fraser was a wee bit younger, that was probably the last time I see an SNL game. Obviously the league's been through its peaks and troughs, but it does seem to be on the up. Is that something that you'd maybe say from like last year? I know you've done the Tigers and stuff before, but last year it really seemed to get his shit together. Good battles in the cups. I mean, it just happened to be like the Dundee Comets and yourselves who are playing this weekend, and then a good battle in the league. You boys end up winning the league. It's good for the SNL because from down south we all still think, and it's probably an ignorant opinion, but you look at the SNL and you was always thinking, right, 5-second team should be good. But I mean, they don't even play their Brits in the fucking senior team, so I don't know what chance we've got. Like you're looking like Dundee. Well, Dundee have an elite league team. They should be good. They got good juniors. They should be good. But then you're looking at it like you guys are in the mix. Dundee are in the mix. Paisley are in the mix. It's interesting.
Yeah, that is. It's every team's capable of beating each other. Last year that was proven by literally every single team in the league. Like North finished bottom, but they kind of knocked the Tigers' league campaign off by beating them. That was like their only win of the season, I'm sure. Kilmarnock beat Edinburgh, put them out the playoffs. Kilmarnock beat us to start the season, first game. Kilmarnock's a team as well. A lot of people kind of look down upon them, but they've really, really got stronger over the last, especially 2 years. It's like their juniors have just came right through and they're running the SNL team, and it's good playing against all these other teams, other towns and cities. It's because you're in Aberdeen. It's everyone kind of comes to us and plays their best game because we've got the fans. But now for us, we can go to Edinburgh and 1,300 fans there to go to
Are
play.
is that what they're doing? That's great.
Yeah, Edinburgh get decent fans too. Yeah.
I suppose the senior team's gone out of there now, so the SNL's the
Yeah,
top level at
kind of
Edinburgh.
like how we are. Yeah, it's kind of like if it was we're the only team in Aberdeen. So like,
Yeah.
if it was the Stars who were the only team here, they'd obviously get all the Tigers fans, Comets fans, and vice versa. So yeah, it's yeah, definitely it's good being a centre of attraction in Aberdeen, definitely.
Oh, here's a tough question for you then. Maybe it's not as tough. Maybe when you're up there, it's not quite as tough. But when you're a Dundee junior, and obviously the goal is to play for the Stars, it's not to play for the Tigers or the Comets. But unless you're fucking exceptional, you're gonna have to go through the Tigers or the Comets. How do you boys pick?
I don't know. Well, for me, I kind of had enough of the juniors. I just wasn't enjoying it. It's the same with Rio, as I said before. So we both left went to the Tigers, but majority Comets, like Sir Ben Edmonds, he came through the sub juniors, went to Comets. He played for the Stars. That's like kind of most people do kind of play for them and then go elsewhere. Do you know what I mean? But it's only been me, Rio, and maybe Jack Henderson, Harvey Topin, these guys in the Tigers have kind of just broke away, and it was kind of us who have been the first kind of young ones that I know of anyway, because I'm not sure how the squads were years ago. But as far as I know, we're kind of the modern, new Dundee juniors going to the Tigers at the time anyway.
So is there any sort of tapping up shit going on? You know, the Comets, are they on the blower going, yo, yeah, why don't you just come down the road and sign for the Comets? You don't have to go anywhere.
I never done this season, but maybe the season before. Just kind of not even like it was any the coaches for it. It's more just like the players.
The boys.
Like, it's more because they would like to me. I kind of do miss playing with friends I grew up playing, but again, it's just how the game works, and you play against and with your mates over the years. So it is weird playing against boys you've played with literally through Scotland juniors, Dundee juniors. Now you play against them and you're chirping you, they're giving you a slash. So it's how it is, you know. And
all's fair in love and all's fair in love and war, my friend. And on the ice, we have no friends. So whatever you make of that, what you will. And I just wish more people still had that mentality, because it leads to better hockey. Like, we can be friends. We can have a fucking pint in the bar after the game. That's absolutely fine. But for the next 60 minutes, we can't be friends. Yeah,
I know. That's just reality again, is it?
Yeah, you want to win, right? And if you want to win, you want to do anything that, will do anything that you have to do in order to win. And whether that's sportsmanship or whether it's the most hustle. Oh, just lost him. We love Hurricane e-bikes, and so do you. Trustpilot have Hurricane e-bikes at a 4.6 out of 5-star rating. Let me just read some taglines for you. I love this bike. Fantastic business with a fantastic product. Fantastic service all around. What a fantastic company to deal with. Fabulous customer services. Fat bike off-road. Fun just got an upgrade. Very satisfied with my bike. It's the best company to rent an e-bike. All sorts of good feedback. I like the service. It's very satisfying in all forms. It's got any solution for any problem by contacting just by phone. So it seems like the people are happy. Amazing bike. Best product. Karen, she loves it. Been using the electric bike for 6 months. The e-bike is amazing. No maintenance cost, very effective. That is right. No maintenance cost. You can go further, go faster, get fitter. All you got to do is head over, hit subscribe on hurricane.ebikes, select your bike, add your accessories, confirm your details, and it is on its way to you. Now, as always, I like to chuck in my favorites. It's the M250 mountain bike. I like the F200 20-inch fat bike. That's pretty cool. But as you please, there's so many different colors, sizes, shapes, something for everybody. So head over to Hurricane e-bikes, go further, go faster, and get fitter. Bear with me, folks. We are going to try and get young Gary back right about now. Right, folks, and we are back. Right, let's fast forward to this weekend. Obviously, still early stages of the season, but there was that cup final defeat at home. How does that sit over the summer? Obviously, you've played them once already this year, but you're in your home barn. How did that sit over the summer? Are you boys ready to put a performance in and pick up 2 points?
I think, with the high of winning the league, it was looking like we had a bit of a hangover. Definitely in the playoff game. They definitely deserved to win that, but we only lost that. The Scottish Cup game with maybe a minute 40 to go. We were winning as well. We gave up a goal and lost it in overtime. So, to see, and again, seeing guys who played, we grew up winning the success that you feel should be you, it kind of drives you more. And especially when we played the last time, I think it was 8-3, we came out guns blazing. The boys were really pumped for it. We weren't wanting to get beat on home ice again, and it'll be the exact same again this weekend because there's a bit of a Dundee Aberdeen rivalry. A lot of the older guys have played in Dundee, especially for the Comets. So there's always a bit of tensions flaring between us, but it's all rivalry.
Do you reckon it might be quite a chippy game on Saturday then? A bit of feistiness.
It's definitely got the potential to be.
Sign me up. Let's go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no secret to anyone that's been watching 4,000 Counting and listening to 4,000 Counting for 4 years, or that knows my career, that I'm quite partial to the rough stuff. And I don't know, when you got a packed out barn and 2 massive points are on the line and the adrenaline's flowing and you're playing for bragging rights against your rival. Let's go. Let's turn that up to 100.
I know, definitely. It's all they're a good team as well. That's the thing. It's good to beat good teams, I think, and especially in a rivalry as well. Their coach, their team's a lot different from last year. Obviously, Dolan's the first now. They had a 4 goal game at the weekend there against the Tigers. So getting him off of them is definitely a massive plus for us. Let's just say that.
Well, I'm hoping to be talking to Dolan later on in the week, but I mean, I still remember him from when he was playing with the senior teams and Dundee and doing his thing and playing for the top team and putting points up on the board regularly. So the guy's legit. I'm not surprised when I look at his numbers in the SNL that he's in the top 2-3 of scoring and he's right there or thereabouts. What was it like for you being a young guy getting to play with an experienced boy like that, maybe lean on him a little bit and take some tips and hints off of him over the course of the season?
Yeah, well, Dolan's son plays juniors at Dundee, so I kind of always had kind of knew John from a distance, and he's always kind of gave me pointers just here and there over the years. And it's kind of, to be in his team, it's definitely a bit weird because obviously when we were all younger, he was the main guy at the Stars, the main Scottish guy. So it's definitely interesting. Like between periods, even if we're losing, winning, no matter what, he's always got something positive to say about what we need to work on. Like he's a good voice in the room. His experience is it's so obvious when you hear him speak about the game, saying these different plays, what to try, like stuff I would never think of before we tell game saying. I'm just like, well, you know what, that's actually very valid, and I could take it to my game and use it myself.
Smart. You got to learn off these older guys who've been there, seen it, done it. So a couple more quick questions before we wrap up.
No worries.
Obviously, being a Dundee boy, is the long-term goal to be up there with McBean and a couple of the other jock boys up the road and pull on the Stars uni for like a whole season or many seasons?
That would be a childhood dream if that was to happen. So, I don't know how I feel. I don't know how realistic it is, but I feel, if I keep going the way I am and impress, with Whitley and Aberdeen, I think, there could be no reason why maybe in a couple of years, a year or two, that can't happen. But that would be a good honour, yeah.
There's one thing that has to happen, and I think the Elite League did actually do the right thing this year in putting the import numbers up. And it fucking pains me to say it. I think they did the right thing just with the talent that was willing to move up and the fact that there wasn't much, the talent that was stepping down. They had to, you can't lose Venus, Ferrara, and all the other guys and have nobody step up and have it doesn't work. So they done it. What they have to do though is then start reducing it back down. Once these boys that are in the national, like yourself, though, you talk about you're doing an apprenticeship. How many guys in the national are doing apprenticeships or at college or at uni or doing a degree? I was with Dan Crow from Sheffield at the weekend. He's doing a degree. He's, that's him for the next 3-4 years tied into that. Could he then go on to the Elite League? Probably not, because he could, but he's got studies. And it's these sort of things that you go, give these guys something they can't refuse to step up. But you have to make sure the import number is right. So start bringing it back down probably the year after next. And by the time, say, you're 21, 22, hopefully that import number will be like 13, 12, 13.
Yeah.
That would be great because then we can start getting more young players into that elite league, and ultimately, I never was really when I was playing, or even at the early stages after stopping playing, much of a GB fan. You know, I might check the results, but since doing this, and obviously we have to be more dialed in. I should become a GB fan. I've got fucking so many mates on that GB team. So obviously I've always wanted them to win. But now that you're doing this and you're talking to them a bit more regularly and you're doing it, I want that to continue. I want to continue being at the top. And in order to do that, we have to have guys playing in the Elite League. It's that plain and simple.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
What I know you're so young, and you've probably not really thought about it too much, but what would be a magic number for you in terms of like Elite League imports? Would it be 12, 13, that sort of number? Would it be lower?
Probably around that. Like I don't actually know too much. I only know bits because of Johnny kind of heat off him on how his hockey's going. But I mean, yeah, definitely dropping it to something lesser anyway would definitely help a lot of guys, even like myself, and all over the UK getting through into the Elite League. Because let's be honest, that's kind of everyone's end goal and everyone's childhood dream when they're playing in the UK is to play at the Elite League at some point.
So, yeah, mate, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Right, last question. Obviously, you're still very new to this, but is there anyone over your career that you would look to attribute? No, that would help your like attributes. So your goal scoring. Is there someone that sticks out that helps you along the way in terms of pushing that sniper edge into you? Because
that has helped me.
Yeah.
Oh, I think probably nowadays, because I've been playing with Jordan Layden, like he's always kind of been Aberdeen's top point guy. He's always way up there in assists too. So when you kind of get put on with him, you know, he's telling you like you're scoring goals if you're on my line. So yeah, I'd probably say Jordan. Then
put your stick on the net and go to the net.
Yeah,
stick on the ice. Off you go.
And then in juniors, you've got Ben Brown. Seen the slap shot against Leeds the other day. That's what he was doing in juniors. Johnny, like all these guys, you see them scoring good goals, and you're like, that's going to be me. That can be me. So yeah, definitely the guys I just mentioned.
I know I just said it was the last one, but the fact that you brought him up, Ben Brown. I don't know much about him, but there seems to be a nice little buzz going around the MK fans about him. Talk to me about his game.
Ben's good. Ben's a good guy. I think he's playing D just now with them. But when like last year with the Comets, he was one of the highest point scorers in the league. I thought, he proved it night in, night out. Proved it against us in the finals. He's scoring goals. He's a guy that likes to make plays as well. He's not just scared to kind of throw the puck away. He'll make a play. He'll use his nerves and execute a play instead of just kind of tipping the puck in the corners. But yeah, he plays
get pucks out, get pucks in.
Yeah. He's got a great shot. That's one thing I say about him. He's got a very, very good shot.
I'm looking forward to seeing him play this year. I haven't actually managed to see him play so far, but MK are definitely on the hit list of teams that I want to watch. I can't believe Leeds put a fucking 9 spot on them though. Woof.
Actually, I've seen that on Twitter. They've not beaten right before as well.
Yeah, they beat them 5-3 in MK, went up to Leeds and lost 9-1. But the weird thing is, the back end of last season, when it was coming into the run-in between those boys, Leeds put an 8-1, 9-1 spot on MK in Leeds. So it's like almost like back-to-back 9-1s.
Yeah.
With the money that MK is spending and the depth they've got, it is not acceptable to be losing 9-1. I'm sure Tim Wallace had something to say on training on Tuesday night is it Tuesday night? Yeah, Tuesday night right now. I bet he's right now. It's about 9 o'clock. Boys are about to get on the ice. Probably just been told off a little bit. But those will be the teams at the business end of the National League this year. Right, Gary, I'm going to let you go, mate. I will see you on Saturday. All the best for the game, my friend. Aberdeen fans, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We've got one more guy this week. And Comets fans, don't think we forgot you. We have Sean Beattie and Billy Hogg coming on. Apparently, according to Cameron Giffen, the toughest ever guy in the SNL. I'm sure maybe some of the Aberdeen boys might have something to say about that. But we'll see you again very, very soon. Peace.